When you and your spouse are having a fight, do you try and avoid it? I want to invite you to consider that fighting is vital for a healthy marriage. Rather than avoiding it, what if you could have open and honest conversations where both of you feel seen and heard? Join me today as I share with you 5 conversations every couple needs to have about fighting so you can do it well. Hi, I'm Julia Woods, a wife of over 30 years and a couples coach, and I help couples fight for the marriage that they long for. Now, many couples that come to me literally tell me they hate fighting and they don't want to do it. I understand because I felt the same way until I discovered that fighting wasn't the problem. It was my approach. It changed everything when I discovered that conflict is a gift. It's not a problem. Conflict is the tension of growth. Nature teaches us that everything grows in tension. Think about a rose breaking out of its bud or a butterfly emerging from its cocoon. Marriage is just like that. You each have desires and longings for greater depth in your connection, your conversation, your sex life. This growth and these desires coming about emerge out of the conflict or the tension between you. If you can learn to turn your conflicts into connecting conversations, you will learn and discover more about yourselves and each other. This is what I'm passionate about, helping couples do, and I will be sharing a powerful resource at the end that will guide you step by step. Because the more you discover, the more you become aware of how to partner in creating what it is that you long for. And of all of this leads to greater connection, a stronger marriage, and a deeper experience of love. If this is the case, there are vital conversations every couple in a committed relationship needs to have about conflict. So let's look at what 5 of those are. The first conversation I call, what do you need? You and your spouse each have a survival and a rational brain. Conflict triggers your survival brain, where you want to control outcomes to repeat the past you've survived. Your rational brain wants you to be curious, collaborate, and negotiate through the tension to create your desired future. As spouses, you can be each other's greatest support in shifting out of your survival brains and back into the rational brain. But in order to become each other's greatest ally, you need to ask each other what you need when you feel upset or defensive. My husband helped me understand that when we're fighting and I look at him with my upset eyes and my angry tone, it triggers his survival system. His request is that I calm my expression and my tone. And also, he let me know that touching his hand or his arm helps him a lot because I'm non-verbally communicating that I'm with him. Do you know what your spouse needs when there is upset between the two of you? If not, what difference could it make if you both learn this about each other? It's simply a conversation that can really support you in the next conflict. The second conversation I believe every couple needs to have is, what do you fear? Your greatest fears live in your survival brain, and they drive conversations during conflict. If your greatest fear is being abandoned, you will subconsciously react and respond during conflicts as if you're being abandoned in that moment, even if you're just fighting over spilled milk. These automatic reactions automatically cause you to abandon your spouse as you try to protect yourself from them abandoning you. Let's say the milk got spilled and your spouse quickly heads to the laundry room to get a towel, but you decide that they're leaving you to clean up the milk by yourself. And so you start shouting about how they always leave you to clean up the messes, right? What you fear, you create. An important conversation to have with each other is, when we get into a fight, what is it that you fear? For example, personally, my deepest fear is abandonment. So it helps my husband to know that what I need from him is the reassurance of his commitment to me. If he is going to get a towel, he now knows it's helpful to tell me what he's doing because my automatic reaction will be to assume he is leaving me. The third conversation I invite you to have is called, How Are We Reconciling Conflict? Growing the marriage that you long for occurs in reconciliation. Let me say that again. Growing the marriage that you long for occurs in reconciliation. Reconciling includes three things. One, both of you shifting back into your rational brains and discovering what brought you to react and respond the way you do. Two, you get down to the deeper layers of the conflict, like fighting over spilled milk is likely more about feeling disrespected or uncared for. And third, reconciliation is when you work together to discover what you each need to create a new outcome together. Developing your ability to do this takes growth and practice. It is important to regularly ask each other on a scale of 1 being low to 10 being how, 10 being high, how well did we reconcile that last conflict? What can we grow the next time? This is a vital conversation because it tells your brains that conflicts are a place for growing and learning, and you're working to improve how you are doing that. The fourth conversation I call, What Are We Fighting About? Every couple has about 3 to 5 reoccurring conflicts. These are the tension points in your relationship. They aren't right or wrong. They are connected to the places where each of you are wounded from your past intersection, where you're wounded from the past and they intersect with each other. In order to grow the marriage that you long for, these crossroads are like X's on the treasure map. They are where the gold in your marriage exists. If you can grow your ability to let each conflict about these topics lead you to reconciliation, you'll begin to uncover the treasure held in your relationship. Just like any treasure map, clues are really helpful. Your first clue is to clarify these repeating conflicts for the two of you. Have a conversation with each other in which you list the repeating fights you have. Pick the top 3. When those fights come up again, this clear list will help both of your brains see that you can turn the fight into a treasure hunt as you both look for the gold that wants to be revealed for you in this area of wounding. For example, my husband and I have fought about money more than anything else in our marriage. Once we realized it was a repeating argument for a reason, we started having more intentional conversations and found so much gold, figuratively and literally. If you want to know more about that, read my ebook, Turn Defensiveness into Connection, and you will find the link in the description below. Now, the fifth and final conversation that every couple needs to have about conflict, the last one is what I call, What do we need? Like treasure hunters learning and growing from other treasure hunters, marriage is the same. To uncover the treasure in your marriage, you will need guidance from others who are mining for the gold in their marriages. Most couples weren't taught how to reconcile or find the treasures in their conflicts. Instead, they leave conflicts unreconciled and try to avoid them. The problem is finding this treasure is vital for keeping your marriage alive. Their marriage becomes stale and bitter if they don't mine or uncover the gold in their conflicts. Each couple needs to ask themselves regularly what they need to grow their ability to resolve and find the treasures in their conflicts. If you need or want support learning to turn your conflicts into conversations that strike gold, I have an option that will give you everything you need. It's called the Marriage Growth Community, Becoming Life-Giving Communicators. In this community, you will gain the tools you need, get the coaching that I offer to guide you to learn what you need to learn, and the support of others who are learning to mine for the gold in their marriage, one conversation at a time. It is the most powerful ongoing support system I've ever offered, and I am so excited about it. You can find more information about that using the link below in the description. I hope this episode was helpful for you and you are ready to have some conversations with your spouse about how to better fight for your marriage. If so, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up and sharing one thing you learned in the comments below.